It is the Riot on RadioU. I'm back.
Yes, Nikki is back today, and Obadiah is not.
With an end of a sinus infection.
Yeah.
Which was amazing. Obie and I got a sinus infection on the same day, even though we weren't near each other.
That's something magical. And like, there's no real reason. Nobody else here was sick with a sinus infection.
No one had it. No one else did.
So it's not like, I mean, what is the source? It's just you two are just
It makes me weird. It makes me worried that I had it and it was just dormant.
Yeah.
You know, like, how long do we have something before it actually starts to make you sick? And then which one of us was patient zero for this sinus infection? So we'll find out. I'll talk to him about it tomorrow. But thank you for coming in today and last week as well when I was on vacation, in air quotes, because I was really sick.
Not the most relaxing vacation.
It was not.
Well, we'll see what happens. Obadiah, he's still a little sick too, right?
He is. Yeah, he had the same sinus infection. Actually, he had it worse than I did.
Yeah, so hopefully his couple days off have rested him up so that tomorrow he'll be back and better than ever, and I can sleep in again.
So in this podcast, we talk Ready Player One.
Yes.
We talk about a $17,000 rock.
Yeah. Believe that or not, there is a $17,000 rock, and it's on the lam.
It could be inflated for, like, insurance purposes.
Oh, yeah. And it was Canadian, so it might not be worth $17,000 in America.
But to them in Toronto, they have a $17,000 rock that they're missing.
That's what's valuable to Canadians.
That's right. We also do a Riot food fight. You were kind enough to bring in some cookie popcorn.
Yeah. That was a good way to start the day. Nice breakfast.
That is posted at RadioU Riot on our YouTube channel. And if you want to join us on our Facebook page, the video's there too if you want to watch the food fight.
Yeah, we've got it all.
Did we talk about anything else that you've included?
Well, we'll see what else
makes it into the pod.
Yeah,
there.
We'll see. I'll see what I like.
Well, you guys have a wonderful day. Thank you, Hudson.
Yeah, of course. Enjoy.
You got to clap here, too. Say bye.
Yeah, bye. Enjoy the podcast.
Sometimes a bad example is the best example. It's the worst of the Riot on RadioU.
I saw this the most on Twitter yesterday, so if you don't follow RadioU on Twitter, make sure you do. And I wanted to get your comments concerning, did you hear about the Windy Day lady in her purse?
I did not.
You did not catch this?
Yeah, I want to hear more.
So she's 26 years old, Kenesha Posey. She was in Fort Pierce, Florida, and she was apparently swerving as she was driving. So police pulled her over and started searching the car, and they found cocaine and marijuana inside her purse. That's
a no-no.
Those are two no-nos.
Yeah.
One, it's a really bad no-no, and then also just a super bad no-no. It was inside her purse that was on her lap, and so her response when asked why do you have cocaine and marijuana, she said, I don't know anything about the cocaine, so I don't know if the marijuana she's fine with.
Yeah, she's all right to admit to that.
But Kenesha then says, according to the police report, it's a windy day. It must have flown through the window into my purse. And so that, if you saw yesterday, was everywhere. The Windy Day lady. That was Kenesha Posey. That's her try to get out of cocaine in my purse card that she decided to pull.
It's not the worst defense. Actually, when you think about it, I'm no lawyer, but you can't really prove that she's not telling the truth.
Well, I hope the cops can.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they'll figure out a way. I mean,
I don't know if that one is going to go with a judge.
No. I mean, a lot of times from watching all the cop shows that I watch, there's probably residue and paraphernalia throughout the rest of the car. But if it was just the cocaine in her purse, who knows?
I think she realized the marijuana was a lesser charge.
Yeah.
So she wasn't trying to say that two things blew in her purse.
Right.
Just
That's ridiculous.
That cocaine happened to be flying down the highway in a baggie.
Right.
Get through the window, land in the purse that was on her lap. And I thought, what a creative
she's trying
response.
At least. And again, like maybe she just thought she would go with something that's a little harder to disprove, and that would work out for her. Also, I kind of like her strategy of it. I don't know if she actually admitted to marijuana, but if she just lets that one slide, it makes her seem a little more believable. It's like, hey, I did something wrong. I admit
to that, but the cocaine is not mine.
Right. That is not mine. That's where I draw the line.
Apparently. I think that she was just hoping that they would just let her go on both charges.
Yeah.
Like, oh, yeah, that's true. But she was jailed on one count each of cocaine possession and marijuana possession.
Okay.
But it would be funny if it actually was true.
Yeah.
Like she was trying to be honest.
That's the other thing, too. Like, can you imagine if it actually did happen and nobody's going to believe you?
No, they're not. Like, the car in front of you is throwing out a bag of cocaine.
It could happen.
Maybe they thought the cops were pulling them over.
Yeah.
And they start throwing the stash out. And they're like, okay. And it happens to fly into her window
I
and
could
her
see
purse.
that. Does she have a sunroof? Maybe that would make it a little more believable. I know somebody that hit a bird and it hit their windshield and then it got like sucked in.
Oh.
To their...
What?
Yeah, it got sucked in. Like their window was open and so it hit the windshield and then like flew
Sucked
up
into
and
the
then
window?
got sucked into the window and
So it
landed
came
on
in their
lap.
car?
Yeah,
Oh,
it actually...
that's worse. I don't know if I'd rather have the cocaine in the lap or that.
Oh,
Was it a dead bird?
Yeah, a dead bird just landed on their lap.
I've seen
That
where...
would be terrible to have to deal with like that, to pull over. And,
I would have a problem with that because you have to touch it. It's been
Yeah.
on you. But I saw once where we moved from drugs, because that's not us, to
No.
animals.
Yeah.
Because I saw one time someone hit a deer. It smashed into their windshield, and then it must have popped up and then into their sunroof
Oh,
and
no.
fell into their car.
Oh, no.
And it was dead, but like...
Yeah.
That's like a...
Oh, that would be horrible because
That's a
deer
big
with like
body.
those dead eyes looking at you. And,
So, you know what, Kenesha, you should be glad for your
yeah, even
your
if you go to
win.
jail,
Yeah,
it's not as bad as having a dead bird or dead animal land in your car.
It's not to us, but in the court of law, I think it actually is worse for her.
Yeah,
the cocaine
unfortunately.
is probably way worse.
Well, sorry, Kenesha.
I don't think they bought it.
No, I would believe you. I would listen. I would let you off with a warning.
You're such a nice guy, Hudson.
If it happens again, though, you're done.
Don't want to talk to the Riot? We completely understand. Text instead. 877-2-RADIO-U.
I did grab the box office from the weekend.
Yeah.
The one movie I saw more promos for than anything else in quite some time, A Quiet Place.
Yeah, they were really pushing that.
They really, really were. That was the John Krasinski one, the guy from The Office.
Jim from The Office.
And that came in at number one with the second best domestic debut for 2018. Behind
Nice.
Black Panther.
Of course.
That came in at $50 million. And
I like how it's exactly $50 million.
well,
what
I'm
are the
sure
odds of that?
They're just probably like, yeah, just, go up.
Right. That was I went to the movies this weekend,
Yeah.
and there was two movies that I was choosing from. The Quiet Place. I mean, it's no surprise that it made $50 million, basically, because the tickets were selling out like crazy.
Sure.
It was hard to find. And then at number two was the other movie I was choosing from, which also was hard to get tickets for. Yeah.
That one came in with $25.1 million and made $81 million internationally.
Wow.
So it seems like that.
And that's a second week for
I
that.
think so, but I think that maybe internationally it was probably its first week in
that's-
most of the other countries.
Right.
Number three, the other new movie, Blockers, 21.4. 4, Black Panther. 5, I Can Only Imagine. And then the rest,
Right.
it just
Who
continues.
cares about? Yeah.
But for Ready Player One, I didn't know if did you actually go see
that
it?
was the one I wound up seeing over A Quiet Place.
What was your thoughts on it?
I actually didn't like it.
Okay, here it is.
I
It's
didn't
when
like
someone
it.
goes, he clenches up. He's like, oh.
I don't I watched the whole thing, and it's not like I hated it. I went through the whole movie. I was.
Did you read the book too?
No, I have not read the book. But I wanted to like it the whole time. I was going through the movie, and it was like I really want to really
like
love this.
All this. Did you like all the stuff in it, like all the characters?
Yeah. Well, the thing
all
is,
the songs. Like, did you think there was like, wow, this is like everything?
I don't know. Like, I thought it was going to be funnier, okay?
Sure.
And there was only a couple spots that made me laugh. And, I got a lot of the references. I'm sure there's a few that I missed. But, it's kind of, random to see the Iron Giant in a movie now and stuff like that. But I didn't really, I guess my problem more was I didn't really care about the characters that much.
Sure.
You know what I mean? They just kind of throw you in there and say, here's some people that play video games. They're the good guys. And obviously you hate the guy that wants to make the whole video game a commercial. But the whole time I was just like, well, why do I like the video game people?
I think
why do I care about them?
They were expecting you to read the book first.
Yeah, of course.
And that might have made you have a love for the character.
Of course. Well, in today's day and age, you should never expect anybody to read any books. I hate to tell you.
Is that asking a lot?
It is asking a lot.
I feel like the book came out years and years ago, and I read it after Obi did, because he said, and I actually really liked the book.
Okay.
I felt like the movie itself was really good until you got to the end, and the end just kind of seemed more like they were making it for a younger audience.
Okay.
It was like, okay, we're done. Like, game's over.
Yeah, just kind of wrapped up very quickly.
Yes,
and
compared
very...
to the suspense of the rest of the movie was not there for me at the end.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, well, we're over with.
Yeah, and it is true. Like, there was never any doubt in the movie that it's like, well, eventually they're just going to...
Sure.
Spoiler alert, but spoiler alert, the good guys win, guys.
Yes. And it's also hard when you do read the book, you go through watching the movie like, well, they changed that or they didn't change that.
Right.
So you can't just sometimes turn that off and go through. But
well, yeah, I'm sure not reading the book, there's a couple things in there where it's a twist, a minor twist, and you're like, well, I guess if I read the book, I would have seen that coming.
Would have known.
But watching
Ready
the movie,
Player One, though, I thought it was stylized very nicely.
Yes,
it was entertaining.
It looked great. The animation in it was great, and they did make it look very, very well done, and they put a lot of money into it, of course. It's
so
just
our entire
I didn't know
review,
if the story stood up as well.
Sure. Our entire review right there, you could just put that on the back of the poster. Like, this is what Hudson and Nikki think.
Right. That's what's
like,
important.
Yes, it's all right.
It looked good, but
hey,
not the best movie ever.
Nowadays in a movie, you can't seem to get both. You can't look good and then, actually depth-wise be good.
That is definitely rare.
You don't have to apologize unless you've done something wrong.
Well, I'm sorry. I can't even think straight right now.
This is the worst of the riot. We're very, very sorry.
It wouldn't be Obi
No.
if even during the day he's not in, we don't talk about Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, I feel bad that we're talking about this. I'm sure he'll find a reason to bring it up tomorrow as well.
Well, we had talked about Amazon has announced a while ago that they are doing a Tolkien Lord of the Rings show.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to be multi-season.
So
But
they're
it's
really
not,
banking on it.
It's not like the Lord of the Rings you want, though. They're not redoing it.
There's no Frodo
It's
or
not.
whatever.
It's basically any other time you get like a superhero movie compared to TV show. It's like that. You don't get the main characters. You're getting behind the things.
The build up to the Lord of the Rings.
Yes,
the build up to
exactly.
the Hobbit, I guess, maybe. I don't know.
So it's very expensive for Amazon. I think it was $250 million for the rights.
Okay.
For the
Jeez.
Lord of the Rings stuff. But what Amazon has come out for the TV series, it will become the most expensive show in history. A budget of $1 billion.
Woo!
That's a lot. That's a lot of
Take a
rings.
seat.
That's a lot of gold.
Yeah, that is a lot. That is ridiculous. I don't know. I guess maybe they're thinking there's going to be a lot of stuff involved in this. You know what I mean? Like,
probably.
When Netflix spends a lot of money on a show, you kind of have to second guess them a little bit because they're like, how many more people? I know they have a lot of people that can still subscribe overseas, but how much money are you really going to make off of this one expensive show?
But what does Amazon need?
But with Amazon, they need a big show to draw people in. And then, there's more to that because when you get Amazon Prime, then maybe you're more likely to start spending money on Amazon in other ways. So I get the thought process. I have a hard time believing, though, that this is going to be the show.
$1 billion. Now, that's not for, like I said, one season. That is what they consider to be what their vision of the entire
budget of the show for multiple
so multi-seasons. That includes the rights to it. That includes, obviously, making the show itself for Amazon. That does beat Netflix, which the previous winner for the highest budget for a show was The Crown.
That's surprising to me, too.
$100 million, and that was Netflix, so Amazon...
That's such a huge jump. 100, this is 10 times more expensive than The Crown was.
The Crown, though, doesn't come from anything.
Right. So they didn't have to buy rights, I'm guessing, to that.
I don't believe so. I don't think it was a book. I don't think it was an estate. Like Tolkien, that's an estate. You're buying
had to spend a lot of money to make his family happy.
And it needs
very, very, very happy.
It needs to look a certain way, I guess.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't know what is it a New Zealand thing? I don't know.
Yeah, maybe New Zealand is really expensive to film in.
Who knows? But that's Amazon TV series is going to be $1 billion for the new stuff from Lord of the Rings. Now, Obi's notes.
Yeah.
It says, isn't it awesome? Because he left us this little link. Isn't it awesome how Obadiah has been rereading the books? He is so ahead of everyone else. We all miss him on the show today and cannot wait for his triumphant return. And that's what he wanted us to pass along to everybody, along with the details on the Lord of the Rings show.
I'm sure for him, he didn't want us to say that was his notes.
No,
I'm sure he wanted us.
He said, read this verbatim, obviously.
But he didn't want us to editorialize it to say that we were...
That's all he gets.
That this was his writing.
The Riot's motto, Carpe Cupcake. Those are words to live by. Radio U.
So when Hudson is in, I always try to find Canadian news, just because you were born in Canada, and that's something that we like to.
Do we need the Canadian music over
I guess
here?
you could if you want.
There we go.
For a minute, I was like, what's that? I don't notice it as much. Do you stand, or is it?
You're supposed to, but I feel like it's okay if you just
play along
you
at
can
home.
just be reverent sitting where you are right now. It's okay.
In Toronto, police are looking for, they're calling her a middle-aged woman, but based on the pictures that they're sending out security-wise, I don't want to be ageist, but I think it's more like a elderly woman.
Yes.
Who has stole a valuable rock from the Gardiner Museum.
Gardener? It might just be Gardner. Everything in Canada necessarily isn't French.
Seems like it would be.
Yeah.
But a museum on Friday, basically it is literally a rock. And you're like, well, what's the big deal about the rock at this museum?
Right.
But it has the words, love yourself, inscribed on the rock. And you're like, again, I don't understand. Why is this here?
You can buy that at a gift shop.
But that was written on the rock by Yoko Ono. And so it was originally, people had a field day with this. It was originally valued when police were sending out shots. This lady stole the rock, walked out of it. So they have pictures of her. They have video footage. And they're like, oh, it's valued at $5,000.
Okay.
Police were asking for if anybody knew any details. Suddenly, then the value of this rock, and it is a rock, has now jumped to $17,000.
Just because it was stolen? It's got more of a story behind it now?
I think that first someone didn't know, because I think it's different levels for if you steal something that's in a different price point.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, this is more intense. Like they have a division for over $5,000, something like that. Whereas if you're stealing from Walmart, it might not be the same police level.
Of course.
As this amount is. But then they're like, no, the rock is actually valued at over $17,000.
Wow.
And they would like it back from the elderly lady who stole it.
I feel like this woman is obviously not a very seasoned criminal. At least
do you think
she
she's
might
a
not be the
criminal,
smartest.
or did she just pick up the rock?
She just thought it was okay to just have it.
I don't know. I'm looking at...
If it was worth so much, they should have it behind something.
I'm looking
at... It wasn't so easy to walk away with it.
At surveillance footage, it looks like she's at a cosmetics counter. So I don't quite know. But she took the rock from an art exhibit. And she was last seen in the Queen's Park area. So Toronto police would like help in trying to find her.
If you happen to know about this woman.
So if you look and you're like, Grandma!
Yeah, why do you have this rock sitting on your
mantle? You're supposed to call and tattle on her that she's in trouble.
But yeah, I just don't feel like she didn't think this through. I don't know whether she's just confused or if she really was trying to steal something. She's like, this is a good thing to steal. But that doesn't make any sense because... You're not going to be able to go sell it somewhere.
Maybe she knew. Maybe she's a big fan.
Yeah, a big fan. Yeah, that could be. Maybe she's just a Yoko Ono fan, and she's like, I can just have this rock, and then I'll be done with it.
Know.
Who's going to find it at my house? Who's going to know? They're just going to think it's a stupid rock I made myself because that's what it looks like.
Until one day, 20 or 30 years from now, you're cleaning out, Grandma's house.
Yeah, and you heard this story.
You're like, what's this rock? You're like, she had it the whole time. And then you're like, well, what do we do?
Yeah, now it's like, has it passed the statute of limitations?
Can I sell it now? I don't know.
Is it worth more than the $17,000?
But for now,
has it appreciated?
In Toronto, if your grandmother stole it, it's $17,000.
Imagine a world where the Riot never talks and it's glorious Radio U music for hours on end. Now, imagine the opposite of that. You're already there. It's the worst of the Riot on Radio U.
So, Nikki, I have to say, I feel like it might be a little bit of a first world problem, but one of the worst places you can be in the United States is a waiting room.
A waiting room? Oh, yes.
They're so bad.
Waiting room.
Especially if it's a doctor and there's other sick people around. And sometimes, you've ever been in the waiting rooms where they don't want you to be on your phone? And it's like, what are you supposed to do?
In?
Yeah, right. And you can't have food or drinks, like if you're at the DMV.
Sure.
So there's a million things to not like about the waiting room. But I found what can make a waiting room even worse. and that is you go into the waiting room, they have TVs, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of times they'll have the 24/7 news networks on the TV.
Oh, yes.
It's just like, can we escape? You know, there's so much politics and so much all this stuff going on all the time. And waiting rooms are already bad enough. Can we just have like that be a place where you don't need that added on to the time, to the other tension that you've got there?
See, I feel like that's not a good waiting room then, because sometimes what I get is the opposite, where it's like the trashy daytime stuff, like it's the baby daddy or like the soap operas
Maury
and all that
or Jerry Springer or whatever.
You're like, even Price is Right. Like I'm never home to watch that during the day.
Yeah.
So I actually sometimes don't mind a waiting room because you're like, what's that?
Yeah,
like I never get to watch this stuff.
Yeah, sometimes you get the cool waiting rooms that have sports on.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all fine. But
did you find yourself in a waiting room where it was not that?
Yeah, it was 24/7 news. And I feel like you're really taking a chance. Well, the other stuff too, you can kind of tune that out, you know. But if you have like any political opinions whatsoever, and then they've got a news channel on, and then like you hear that and you're just like, no, that's not right. I don't like that. I don't want to hear that opinion.
It just makes you mad.
Yeah, and then you get upset, and like it just doesn't seem like a good business decision when maybe you have a customer that comes in. They're probably not going to walk out if you've got news that they don't agree with on, but they might not want to come back.
Well, they might be more riled up.
Exactly.
Especially if you're in a doctor's office.
Yeah, be a little more testy with your associates, with your staff there, if they're already on edge.
Well, here's something that everybody always tells me to do, and I never want to have confrontation.
Yeah.
But we could just ask to change the channel.
That's true.
But then I don't know how to do that.
Yeah,
like,
right.
Let's take it a step out.
The TVs are too high up
and the
you
remote
can't
is
reach.
behind the desk.
Yeah, they don't. Yeah, the remote is behind the desk. I want to see somebody. I would love to see in a waiting room somebody just doesn't like what's on TV. Just somebody sitting there. They just walk up and start messing with it. Like, let's see what else is on.
One time, Chris just downloaded, because we were at eating at a restaurant for lunch,
okay.
and they usually had Prices Right on.
Yeah.
But they had, again, like one of the talk shows that was just so annoying.
Yeah.
And so he downloaded a universal remote app and was able to just change the channel through his phone. So you could do that. You could figure out, get the frequency, do all that.
Yeah, I can see how that would work.
We're problem solving here.
Yeah,
we don't have to be upset if we don't want to.
Right. This is not a situation we need to deal with. If I don't want to watch the news, I don't want to watch it at home, I sure don't want to watch it in your waiting room.
That's what you need to lead with right there. When you go up to the desk and stomp your foot.
Yeah. I don't want to watch this anymore. Let me have some peace.
Can you log into Netflix? Can I just watch something? I got shows to watch.
Yeah. I've got there's only so much time in the day. I need Netflix in this office right now.
Send your complaints regarding that worst of the riot moment to Fire Obadiah at RadioU.com.
What is your thoughts on this? Because normally Obi is still a Blu-ray individual, like when it comes to rentals or buying.
Yeah.
He'd rather go to Redbox or just buy the Blu-ray.
Right.
But for me, I'm perfectly fine just having a digital-only copy.
Oh, really?
But he still likes to get something physical.
No, I really like having a physical copy.
You do too?
And I even prefer renting the physical copy because, I don't know, call me crazy, it saves like $1. And it's not all that inconvenient to me, so I don't mind. I don't mind going to Redbox.
Okay, well, you're on his side then. But for me, we've got the list of the 2017. These are the top 25 U.S. digital rentals.
So this is a list you contributed to.
Yes, because I've never been to a Redbox.
Really?
To me, I'm like, well, I'll even sometimes just buy the movie if I think I might like it. Because then if I want to watch it a couple of times, I've already put the money in. It's a thing.
Yeah, I believe I only rented one movie digitally last year, and it was a free rental, and it was Dunkirk, which is not on the top 10.
You got him then.
Yeah, I win.
For a lot of these movies, they actually came out like in 2016, say towards the end of the year.
Yeah,
but they found themselves, because they had a full year of rentals, they're on the 2017 rental list.
Yeah, there's one on here that actually sticks out as a 2017 release that had like half the year that the other ones did, and still was number 3.
So that's more impressive, I think. So some of the top 25, let's see, 22, Jack Reacher, Never Go Back.
Okay, I didn't even know. That's
an old one.
That's Tom Cruise, right?
Yes, it is.
But I haven't seen it.
No. Okay. So negative on that.
No.
21, Doctor Strange.
Okay.
That's on
that
Netflix.
That was late 2016, wasn't
That was. Let's see. 19, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them.
it? Okay.
Negative.
Haven't seen that.
Nope. John
Sorry.
Wick Chapter 2. That gets a buzzer because it was just disappointing.
I actually still haven't seen it. I've seen the first one. I never got to see the second one.
And just digitally do that.
Yeah.
Don't buy it.
Right, don't buy it.
Let's see. 17, Kong, Skull Island.
Okay, that was a 2017 release.
That was one.
I haven't
Native.
seen it, though.
Let's see. Passengers, number 14.
That was a
No.
late 2016, but that's a no. I haven't seen it.
I got to find one that's a yes.
Yeah,
let's
these
see.
ones at the bottom, I haven't rented.
Boss Baby. Wasn't that the animated one? It's the button
No,
stuck.
I have not seen that movie.
All right, number 10. Beauty and the Beast. No,
Haven't seen it.
I didn't like it.
This
but-
is weird. This going through this list, I thought I
All
see a
right.
lot of movies. I didn't see any of these.
So top 2017 U.S. digital rentals.
All right, here we go.
Logan, number 8.
Yes.
Yay! Found
There
one.
we go.
I think now that we're getting closer to number 1, it should roll in.
Yeah.
Trolls at number 7.
No, that needs extra buzzers as well.
Guardians of the Galaxy. That one's still
Is
a
that the
popular
new,
rental.
like the number?
No, I
It
think
doesn't say number 2 on it.
because the other one came out, people wanted to see the first one.
That's true. They wanted to catch up or
Yep.
just have a little refresher.
Let's
That's weird because the
for
other one isn't on the list, and it did
Digital
come out last year.
rentals, you have Sing at 5,
No,
Arrival at 4.
I saw that.
Was that the Amy Adams
Yep,
one?
the alien movie where
From the
they
book?
like write with ink in a circle.
Okay, well,
Not-
don't spoil it.
Yeah.
I just like to leave that one a mystery. Number 3, Wonder Woman.
Yes, and this is the one that
Hey!
I'm impressed by because that one came out last summer.
Yeah.
And somehow, like, I guess, I don't know when it came out on DVD. I'm guessing around like Labor Day or something like that, maybe even later than that. And it still wound up on number 3 for the whole year last year.
I bought the movie, but have still yet to see it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well,
Based on
it's-
Obi's recommendation. Number 2, Moana.
I actually have seen Moana, but I didn't
And
rent it. It's on Netflix.
Netflix. And number 1, we thought was the weirdest.
This-
The top U.S. digital rental from last year was The Accountant.
Yeah, I saw that. The Ben Affleck one.
It's very odd.
You could have given me, like, honestly, 25 guesses at least. Probably
Never would have
100.
got
I
it.
wouldn't have said The Accountant.
People were
that wouldn't even
surprised, too.
dawned on me.
And it's not like it did great in the theaters, but
No.
sometimes a movie will not do well there, but just catches on and people like it. And it, rental-wise,
Yeah.
makes more money that way.
And sometimes, like, as you can see on this list, the market of people that are renting digitally is not exactly the same as the people who are going to theaters. I feel like maybe from this list you can kind of gather that maybe it's a little older people that are like either
Maybe.
people with kids or just people that maybe don't get to go to the movies as much.
Maybe
so
you're
that's why they're
embarrassed to
renting
see
them.
a Ben Affleck
Yeah,
movie
right,
in
yeah.
theaters. Like no one wanted to see Justice League, but you're okay in home with the
Right.
safety
you
of
don't
that.
have to let other people know.
That
I
you're
mean,
watching
The
this
Accountant
movie.
wasn't good, but it wasn't that bad that I would be embarrassed to tell people about it.
He says thank you.
Yeah, right. Thanks, Ben Affleck.
Thanks, Hudson, for saying such kind words about my movie.
Of course.
The Riot talks about wanting a day off, but when do we get a day off from them?
Boo! You suck at this!
It's the worst of the Riot on Radio U. The Riot. Food Fight.
It is the Riot. I appreciate you, Hudson.
Yeah.
So much because on Friday, you guys had a coffee.
We did.
Not quite a food fight, but a taste test.
Yeah, that was a manufactured taste test where we're like, we need to do a taste test. What can we do?
It was good, and I feel like now it's almost like if you were brother and sister and someone had a birthday and you give a present to the other because, you just want everybody to be fair.
Yeah.
So you had a taste test of sorts on Friday with Obi, and now you brought something with me today.
And this one came about a little more naturally. I actually have to say thank you to my girlfriend who found this stuff.
Yeah, at
So
a place
she's
I've
always
never-
thinking of the Riot.
I never heard of.
Yeah.
Allie?
So Ollie's.
Ollie.
Ollie's,
Why can't I get that?
Like Oliver, but Ollie. You know,
Ollie.
like the shortened version of that. So if you haven't been to Ollie's, like I want to temper some expectations with this.
In case you're like Hudson said.
What we have is Cookie Pop.
Yeah.
Which I had never heard of before. But Ollie's is a discount store where basically like they get stuff from other stores that they've overstocked or stuff that just like isn't in production maybe anymore. So we are testing this Cookie Pop. It might be over and done with, and you can't buy it anywhere except Ollie's, and then once it's at Ollie's, it's gone.
Which doesn't mean all the time that it doesn't taste good.
That's exactly.
Because I'll go to Aldi's,
right,
and they'll have like maybe like it's been mass produced and they have extras.
Yeah.
But it's not like it didn't sell well.
Right.
It's just the extras go there.
Right. So this could be the same thing. I mean, I will say I don't remember seeing this in any grocery store at any time.
No, I don't either.
So,
it might be their line or something.
yeah, like Ollie might just get some good hookups on cookie popcorn.
So let's do the cookie one.
Well,
so for cookie pop,
cookies and cream,
the chocolate chip.
Chocolate chip.
Let's do the chocolate chip cookie one.
I smelled it.
Now, I want to tell you, this is licensing, right?
Yeah.
They just say chocolate chip. I guarantee you it's the same chocolate chip from like a, what's the company? It looks just like a main one. Like the same.
Chips Ahoy.
That's it.
Yes.
It's the same Chips Ahoy cookie.
They couldn't strike a deal with Chips Ahoy, so they're
we'll
just make our own
chip.
popcorn and we'll see what happens.
All right, let's try popcorn.
All right.
Also, Hudson didn't want to eat out of the same bag as me because I'm still sick.
Yeah, we don't need to pass that around.
You sure you don't want a sinus infection? That's great. Does that taste like a chocolate chip cookie?
I wouldn't think so.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's not bad. It's just a sweet popcorn.
It's like a sugar dusting, but not like a chocolate chip cookie.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's fine.
Is it? Is it, Hudson?
Well, I have this cup of it here, and it's not bad. It's good enough that I'm probably going to have a hard time not eating the rest of it.
But that's just because it's popcorn.
Right, it's
it
just
really
there.
It doesn't taste quite like that.
It's not going to fill me up or anything.
So this one is a cookies and cream one.
I'm more excited about this, and from the smell test, this one smells much better.
Once again, there's no licensing involved.
It's not
an Oreo
popcorn.
This is a cookie-coated popcorn called Cookie Pop, and it's cookies and cream.
I have high hopes for this one.
The Oreo one, you think it'll be better?
Yes.
It definitely looks
the
more coated.
non-Oreo one.
Well, I know. I just cookies and cream cookie. That's more of a
We all know
mouthful.
what it means.
Well, you still get that strong popcorn taste.
Yeah, it's not as strong of a cookies and cream flavor as I would want.
I kind of just want the cookie,
Yeah,
but the popcorn's there.
how about we get some cookies and cream ice cream and dip popcorn in it? Can we
People
do that?
like that. People love that stuff.
I love
Popcorn and ice cream?
more chips and ice cream or chips and cake icing. I have a problem with that. I mean, I don't do it very often, but doing it once is a problem.
We don't judge here. Okay, there's no judge. All right, so out of the two, I think I like the Oreo one.
Yeah, I think I agree.
But it doesn't really taste like cream cookies on popcorn.
It's not. Maybe they didn't have the funding to really put the effort into this that was required. I mean, it's fine, but it's really just sweet popcorn. It's not a very strong flavor of cookies and cream or chocolate chip cookies.
So for the cookie pop, still a good day when you get popcorn.
Yeah, always. This is a good breakfast.
Next time, let's bring in the cookies as well.
I know. You hate the Riot. Why are they on the radio?
Stupid. Yeah.
Honestly, we can't trust them with anything else. It's the Riot on RadioU.
Hudson and I think we really bonded with our most recent spring fundraiser.
Yeah, we grew very close, you and I, and Obi too. Because
he stepped in.
He did. That was actually a big moment for him.
We did a Battle of the Bugs, which if you want to go check out, we recorded it all. It was all on Facebook as well. It's at our RadioU Riot page, or if you join us on our RadioU Riot YouTube channel where our food fights go. But we were raising money to support RadioU, and we were willing to eat certain bugs with it.
Yes. It was difficult.
It was difficult. It was very difficult. But we didn't raise the ultimate goal, which was we would have eaten or taken a bite of a tarantula.
Right.
So this leads itself to this story where in Cambodia, eating a tarantula, to us, we're going to have a very hard time doing it. But for them, it is a delicacy. I think it's called aping.
Aping? I don't know. I mean, that's how it's spelled.
That's how it looks. A-P-I-N-G. But it's very common. You know, in other countries, bugs are food.
Right.
And
we're the weird ones.
We're the weird ones with that. I mean, a predominant part of the world, they have no problem with it. But deep fried, garlic fried tarantulas are a very big treat there.
Okay, when you say it that way,
it's the garlic fried, isn't
makes it sound a little better. Ours were definitely not garlic fried, so I wish we would have known that this was a thing. So
if you could fry any bug.
Could have made the challenge a little easier.
Well, they're having a problem in Cambodia and other areas because they are leveling forests, which has been a problem in a lot of areas.
Yeah, of course.
But here they're leveling forest for cashew nut plantations.
Okay.
And for tarantulas, they kind of would get them at the outer parts of the forest.
Okay.
And they kind of burrow down and just get them from the beginning parts of like tree areas.
Right.
And that's the areas that are being taken out from
Okay.
this foresting sort of stuff that they're doing for the cashews, which is a problem because I really like cashews. So
I was going to say, so we're
know.
making a trade here.
Yeah, like I really like cashews, but I really like trees, and I understand
Yeah.
how important it is to not do the deforestation and stuff. But now they're at a cost of $1 a piece, which
And
I
that
think
sounds
they
like
used,
it's not a big deal, but
they
I
used to
mean,
be about 10 cents
Yeah.
for the deep fried tarantulas, and now they're so scarce that
Right.
this delicacy for this country is in a problem to
Yeah.
become gone.
Well, I mean, yeah, when you think about it that way, that it's increasing 10%, like imagine. I mean,
what if
who
your
drinks,
gas went like that?
Yeah, who drinks $1 coffee? But if you drink $1 coffee every day, and all of a sudden it's shot up 10%, or
yeah,
it
you
went up
would
to
notice.
$10,
You
you
would
would know.
notice.
Yeah, it would be a big difference. So that's sad for them. And I don't know, like I'm still stuck on the garlic fried thing.
You
I
want
feel
to try?
like
Yeah, maybe you try it.
I don't know if I want to try it, but
we had a tarantula that was in a can,
Yeah.
and then you would open it up, and you weren't allowed to store it but maybe a few hours.
Yeah.
You had to eat it then and there, but it wasn't deep fried.
yeah, just dehydrated like tarantula jerky.
I can't
so-
believe we almost did that.
Yeah, we still have them. We still have them. So
He's still in the can.
if we want
we
to
ever wanna
break
get
out
him
the
out.
garlic fryer, we can give it a shot, maybe.
Oh, I prefer to air fry. It's a little less,
Okay.
less
Yeah.
oil.
Air fry and then add the garlic
Ah.
afterwards.
Terrible.
Toss it.
The other problem is in Cambodia, they rely a lot on tourism. Well, for tourism, you go and you eat all these crazy things. You take a picture. It brings a lot of money to these food stalls. But I don't know, maybe they're still okay since if I was going to take the picture, $1 doesn't seem expensive
Right.
to me.
If you're a tourist, then maybe it's okay.
But if it keeps rising, they're
Yes.
worried. And for locals, they're just not having it as much.
Well, that's tough. Times are tough all over. From here
even
to
tarantulas are feeling
Cambodia,
it.
and yeah, tarantulas are really feeling the pinch because they're losing their homes over this.
Poor guy. They're being eaten and
Yeah.
they're losing their homes.
They can't win. No, either way, what's the best case scenario for the tarantulas?
I guess if I had to choose, I would still want to be garlic deep fried.
Over
It does
losing your
sound-
home.
It does sound
You don't
good.
want to just relocate to like a
That's a lot
cashew
of-
field.
I don't like moving.
You don't want to live
It's
in a
a lot.
cashew field.
It's a lot. Oh, actually, it is delicious. I don't know what I would do.
Your morning, but without yelling, laughing, or music.
Don't deprive me of that.
We wouldn't dream of it. It's the Riot on Radio U.
Are you a fan of Dunkin' Donuts? Like some people are.
I'm not. I really
in
don't like their
love with
coffee.
it.
And where they are located and like in my daily life is not convenient. So
It's
I
not?
don't very often go. But their breakfast stuff and their donuts, it's fine.
I feel like depending on what part of the country you live in, there's going to be fan favorites like for your area.
yeah.
And there's some pockets of this country that really love Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah. For me, I really love Tim Hortons and like their coffee and then their donuts and stuff are fine. They're not that good. But the
Okay,
coffee
Hudson, what
makes
do
up
you
for
like
it.
then? Everything seems to be something
I just
you don't
really
like.
Tim Hortons coffee, but I also know family in New England in like the Boston and like all that area. And there, Tim Hortons never got off the ground, they said.
Because it was all Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah, because Dunkin' Donuts is just huge.
They just can't make get into that market because
Right.
it's so taken over.
Yeah.
And this is being taste tested from Dunkin' Donuts in the Boston area.
Yeah.
They have unveiled donut fries.
Okay, now if I was to say donut fries to you, what would you think that would be?
Kind of like a French toast stick.
Okay.
You know, you ever had like if you go to IKEA, like the
Yeah.
little waffle sticks or something?
Right, yeah. Okay.
I think of it like that. Some people also compare it to like a churro.
Yeah, for me, I was like, you hear the term donut fries, and
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that either implies that it's a fry, like potato fry, and then it's got donut flavoring or something.
I feel like it's a donut stick.
Yeah, or maybe like funnel cake fries.
Oh, those are good.
Yeah,
we can agree on that one,
let's
can't
get some
we?
funnel cake fries.
Come on, Dunkin' Donuts, where are you on that one?
But yeah, you're more on track with these, that they are actually like donut sticks.
They're thicker. It's like a steak cut fry, but it's not made out of potato. It's made out of donuts.
Okay.
And then cinnamon and sugar, which is why it lends itself nicely to like a churro taste.
Right.
And people seem to be pretty positive on it, to where they're marketing it to see if that's something they want to go nationwide with.
I think they've done a good job. And I'll like just with the name donut fries, because I feel like if they just said donut sticks,
it's not.
I don't think we would be talking about it.
No, there is a donut stick. That's a type of donut.
Yeah.
It's the one that's not cream filled, but I think there's a donut stick already.
Like, you can get the Little Debbie. Is that what they're called? Aren't they called donut sticks?
Like, I feel like that name is already taken.
So they needed something else. But regardless, like donut fries, that's smart marketing, I think.
If you're in the Boston area and marketing works on you,
give it a shot.
You can let us know what you think.
Yeah, and if you want to send some, I'm sure they won't be the same when they're not fresh. But
as long as that's not like an illness from it being shipped, I'm
just
fine risking
refrigerate it, send it in a cooler if you have to.
We come in and we're like, why do we got something that's on ice? It's like, what's that? It's like, oh, we got the donut fries.
Fresh donut sticks, donut fries.
Thanks for listening to the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Oh no, I missed it. Do it again.
You can hear us live every day on the RadioU network through the RadioU app or at riot.radiou.com.
Where are the weird ones?